the sage on the stage, as they say. Rather, I like to see myself as somebody who is uh, showing you some tried and true tips and tricks. So I've actually titled my presentation 4.5 pro tips in using OMNI. Yeah, so I see that somebody put in the chat conversation. So I'm glad that we we converge on this way of thinking. Um, why 4.5 pro tips? Because the first tip, it's like just half of it. I'm not gonna walk. I assumed that everyone present at the meeting has had their onboarding training. I assume we have all been part of the same process. And if we need to touch on like more basic skills, feel free to contact your university coordinator, Ginsley, myself. I can put my email address in the chat at the end. I had a little bit of a mishap with the slides for the presentation. My computer did not cooperate. It's still a little bit clunky. So if you see me clicking in desperation here and there, it's not because that's the first time I've discovered IT technology. It's just because the machine is a little bit clunky. So without further ado, I'm gonna share my screen for the let's just call it like a quick demonstration. Um, so Ginsley, I assume that I am the co-host right
Uh,
now.
yes, you're the co-host. Let me verify.
Okay,
Yes, you are. You'll be
perfect.
able to share your screen.
I am going to. Perfect. Can everyone see my screen? So I have now uh, the Omni page with the search. Ginsley, can you see my screen?
Sorry, I think my screen was still on, sorry.
Okay.
So we can try.
Okay.
Okay, now I
How
can see
about
it.
now? Okay. So a quick and dirty trick that I wanted to share with you, and it will actually tie in with what I'm going to talk about a little bit later. It has to do with uh, using filters and uh, adjusting the number of subjects when you are doing a search and when you are refining your results. So the other day I had a consultation with the student, and among other, uh, we were actually hunting for a good topic for her. She is registered in a writing class for the English department, and she needed a topic for her essay. She had a number of ideas, so we sort of had to narrow them down. And one of the topics that she had in mind was the how university life is perceived in movies or films, right? So I thought, okay, well, that could prove like I've never searched a topic like that. I always like to be challenged, and I was like I was a little bit challenged in the sense that we didn't find much through OMNI. We went into different into a different direction, and I'm gonna talk about that. But one difficulty that the student had, and I keep in mind that this was like a one-on-one in real life, so it wasn't on instant messaging, on chat conversation, which uh, does add a supplementary layer of complexity to our interactions. But one thing that while we were doing this search, I was showing her like the list of subjects, and once I do the search, let me do the search. So as I was explaining, you are going to find a lot of subjects that you can simply reduce. Well, human beings, I will probably keep, okay, but technology, no. Again, I apologize. My machine is really slow here. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble navigating. Again, neuroscience is not something that I would entertain. You get the gist. It takes me almost 4 to 5 seconds to apply each and every change, but the idea is play with the subjects. Sometimes myself and other colleagues, when we filtered through the results, we actually focus on these pains, right? I mean, you want if they are registered for a class, when the professor asks for sometimes they ask for a print copy, right? So you would use filters like physical items at Queen's or whichever university you're teaching at. Then sometimes they want peer-reviewed journals, which is totally fine. But we tend to focus too much on these upper panes here with the filtering, and we forget sometimes that we can play a lot and teach students to be critical and filter through their results by using the subject. That being said, I'm gonna now switch to, let's see if the computer cooperates. I'm gonna switch to the slides that I have here. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm going to share again. How does that look?
Great on my side. Yes,
Okay.
great.
So I've actually split the presentation into a group of two tried and true pro tips. Then we're going to have a short discussion group, to reminisce about our university days when we had discussion groups following the class. Then I'm gonna discuss again other batch of 2 tips, and then we're gonna have a final discussion. Is everyone okay with my approach? Okay, so
Yes.
I got some thumbs up from Ginsley, so I'm just gonna go ahead. Question for you: do you feel sometimes tempted to jump over some steps of the reference interview when you are doing Ask Chat? I'm gonna come right off the gate, and I'm gonna say, yeah, sometimes it's not like you're meeting the person on Teams or on Zoom, or it's you don't know whether the person is, how many screens they have running at the same time. So like total disclosure here, I do the reference interview, but I am not always very thorough. Is anyone else I don't know, guilty within inverted commas about the same library crime? Let me check the chat. So Samantha and Sonia. Samantha says, I find it more often it's the student who wants to skip some steps, or they don't respond to clarifying questions, so they just keep repeating their initial question. Yes, yes, it happens to all of us. It depends how busy it is. Correct. So yeah, there's like a number of factors, a number of constraints. I do openly admit that the medium, like the online chat, doesn't necessarily give itself to a full-fledged, full-blown reference interview. My plea here today is to do your best, implement it. Why? Because my first pro tip actually has to do with running the reference interview to the best of your abilities in that environment, and that will actually give you like the scope awareness. Is the person in front of you an undergrad versus a graduate student? Like in my day-to-day, I should have introduced myself. I'm gonna skip the formal presentation. I am part of a learning and student success team. So our mandate within the University of Ottawa Library is to teach research fundamentals. Search strategy, how to come up with a research question, how to make the most of the library resources. In theory, these workshops, this series of workshops, are dedicated to freshmen, to second years, first year to second year undergrads. But to our pleasant surprise, or I don't know how to define it, we also had students from older years, greater years, from graduate studies, who attend, or they ask us questions. However, we're talking about different calibers, different situations, so you need to ask them the questions of the reference interview, because that would actually orient if you are even going to use OMNI extensively or not. On the slide here, I put the situation when you're actually dealing with a researcher who is looking for rare or archival material, right? is that material even present at your library or even in the OMNI network? So is it is always worth doing that reference interview. The last situation, once I hear like scoping review or like a comprehensive type of search, and I know that the person is a fourth-year student in an honors program or a graduate student, I'm going to actually veer away from OMNI in that case. Tip number 2, I'm talking about the OMNI siblings databases, right? So just to piggyback on the previous idea, once we run the reference interview, we know how to direct the user away from OMNI and to a specialized database. The giveaway, the cues, are the person is telling you, oh, I'm looking for this for materials on this medical procedure, or I'm trying to find information about chemical reaction, chemical compounds. I would advise against using OMNI in that situation. I mean, you can try and see, like doing a quick and dirty search, see whether it works. But I wouldn't die on that OMNI hill. My tried and true method and advice is to go to the databases, especially if you hear like I'm doing a systematic review. Again, that's not something that you're gonna finish during a virtual consultation or like a chat type of an environment. You can start if that's your area of expertise. If you know stuff about it, you can start to give them some pointers, but clearly recommend databases, recommend one-on-one with the librarian. Another cue is, as I put it on the slide, very recent publications in fast-moving fields, science, engineering, medicine, and like biomedical and everything that has medical in it. Time is flying. I'm gonna take the break here. I'm gonna check the chat. I don't see like any other questions. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. We have already sort of tackled the reference interview and the consistency in using it. Am I making a good case about using it? I mean, and feel free to contradict me. Am I really hallucinating? Not in a chat GPT kind of way, but does it make sense? My plea towards being systematic and steady in asking the reference interview questions.
Hi, Paul. So you mentioned that we should avoid using a technical term or medical term on the search interface. Um, uh, and you mentioned we should use that special databases instead. It's just that on Omni, let's say I'm looking for uh, what example I can give? Um, uh, maybe, I forgot. Maybe cardiac arrest, and then they have like a technical or medical term, but Omni just provide like a notification saying, okay, I will search this term, but as well with other medical term that's related.
Oh, okay. So you get some sort of prompt that allows you to build a buttress Boolean search. I'm trying to wrap my head about your
I
idea.
can find some example a bit later,
Mhm,
but I was looking for searching for medical term, not medical, um, a term on the as a keyword
mhm.
on Omni on our Omni search interface, and then uh, on the search result, it provide my query, like searching for this term, but it also added other terms that I didn't thought that I was going to it will be included. It's not a and or it's just it include many medical
Mhm,
term that that
mhm,
related to the same keyword.
mhm.
Um, so that I don't know if you have experienced that. Uh,
Um, no,
okay,
but
okay,
why don't we leave it there uh, for this point, and then I will be
okay,
happy to run the test, maybe chat with you, Ginsley, and we can put together some slides.
okay,
I was not aware of this improvement,
okay.
um, and probably because um, as I told you, my instinct is to go to the specific field database whenever I have questions from those areas. I'm gonna move on with tip number 3. Are the slides changing? Do you guys see the slides changing on your screen? Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So I put here like in the interaction. So let's say it's a quiet type of shift on ask, and I have enough time to dedicate to a user who has a more complicated type of search. I always encourage them to start by signing into their Omni or their library account. And I say, I use the plural, let's start by signing in together. The lie here is because, you know, I am already signed in. I tend to sign in at the end of either my workday or at the beginning of my workday, at the beginning of my shift. Um, why is it a good practice? Well, it first of all, uh, it allows them to have access to special features because, you know, they are actually recognized by the proxy server of their respective university as being members of the community, right? So they get optimal results. So they don't have to worry about, you know, oh my God, I have to like they do the search and then they get a paywall. This way you don't have to do like the back and forth. You take this signing in out of the way. On top of that, there will be a search history, right? That gets saved into that account. It kind of goes without saying for us because, you know, we are librarians, library specialists, but it's not that obvious for them. So I had people coming back to me and say, oh, I had like this search, or I had this resource. I wanted to save it. My computer crashed. I was doing it on my boyfriend's computer, and now I don't have access to those searches and that information. Spare yourself the hassle and ask them to, do it together. So it's always a very good idea to teach them that reflex. Tip number 4, and it ties in with what I was trying to do before with the filters on the left hand side of the screen. I whenever possible, and honestly, to the best of my ability via chat, I use um, every interaction that I have with the student. And I was actually taught this by my Ask Chat instructor. He is great. I'm forever indebted to him, because when he was training me, he said, whenever you have the time, take the time to teach them how you got to those results. Accompany them. You shouldn't be the sage on the stage, but you should be a companion. And that's actually what we're being paid for, and it does complexify the interaction, and I know that sometimes people are slow to respond and so on and so forth. I am aware of the sometimes difficulty and the challenges of interacting with someone via chat, but it's always a good idea to teach. So I try to explain to them, or sometimes I have these my own canned messages on one side of the screen, and I say, well, first of all, I actually cast a very big, very wide fishing net, okay, and I use or between synonyms. And I also tell students, don't be afraid when you're gonna get like a lot of the results, because you can actually filter through them. That's why we have the filters. You don't have to be bang on, because students, they always like get jittery. Oh my God, look at I have 800 results. When we're talking about uh, blood, sorry, guns, germs, and steel, right? That's I'm just quoting a book. They had to provide a book summary, and they got too many results. It's not a big deal. You have the embarrassment of riches. You have a cornucopia. Take advantage of it. There's nothing wrong with that, because we have methods to filter them and to land on the most relevant and the best results that apply to your situation. And the advantage of talking to students and teaching them about filtering and about modifying their results is that it is very rare that even ourselves as information professionals, until we get to the batch of results, to that perfect pot of results, perfect both in number and in relevance, it does take us a number of iteration of searches, right? I mean, we're like skilled. We know how to use the Boolean operators, the wildcard and whatnot. But there's they really need to use that elbow grease, and they need to go through these iterations, through the phases, and that's actually part of the earning your wings as a researcher. It's part of the journey. So willy-nilly they have to do it, although it sounds it sounds and it looks a little bit onerous at the beginning, and it's also challenging to teach um, when you're doing it via chat. I admit it is not obvious. I'm gonna move on, because I want to save a little bit of time for questions and discussions and whatnot. And then we are going to discuss tips 3, 4, and 5 at the second discussion group. Another thing that I want to share with you, I put here hidden gems of the library. I'm not gonna actually. I'm gonna show you the special collections that we have at the University of Ottawa right at the end, because I want you to have access to the slide. But what I mean by gems and special collections, for U Ottawa, we have rare books and archival records. We have, for instance, special collections related to women in STEM and the history of Franco-Ontarian feminism. We have a number of researchers who actually are doing intensive research on the history of Franco-Ontarian feminism. So you might want to they're indexed within OMNI, but you might want to sort of use this shortcut and point them directly to that pool of resources, instead of using the search interface in OMNI. Is it always feasible? Is it always judicious? No, but like if they have the means to go through 100, 150, 200 items, that's not gonna take them hours, right? We're talking about a number of minutes, and also they have like this synoptic view of the resources. So keep that thing in mind, and I'm sure, like I'm before, in preparation for this training webinar, I've taken a look at Western, I've taken a look at Guelph, I've taken a look at Queens. Each and every library, you either have archival records, or you have special collections. Another thing that's U Ottawa specific, and I don't know, either in pace with the flavor of times, we also have a collection of tech material that we lend out to students, so they can actually browse that collection by themselves. Another trick that I am going to share with you, it's I'm gonna stop the sharing and switch to my screen. So I want to point. Okay. I would like to point you to these red arrows here. I've known about this for a long time, but 2 weeks ago I was actually teaching in a class, and I showed this trick to to the class, and the professor was actually very pleasantly surprised. So these are actually ways of finding other sources that are citing this article, and these are actually the references that have been used to write this article. So you can actually find out which other resources that are pertinent, either before or after the date of this article. Keep this nifty trick in mind. I am going uh, to wrap up, like in terms of I don't know, take home points for the training that we did today. So don't feel shy about starting with a big pool of results and resources, and then limiting it by playing with the subject filtering. That's a nifty trick that I would like to share with you. Always try to apply the reference interview to the best of your ability, and I've also put like a point in my wrap up conclusions about veering away from OMNI and going towards databases. However, I'm gonna take Ginsley's point with the grain of salt, and then I am going to run the searches with the medical terms, and actually compare the results that we get through OMNI and versus PubMed. And last point that I would like to make, to the best of your ability, and to the best of the time and resources that you have at your disposal, share with the students how you do the searches. Take advantage of the interactions and use the interactions as teachable moments. I guess I'm gonna stop right about here, and why don't we open the floor to questions, observations, tips and tricks of the trade that you would like to share.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul. My first question is, sorry, I didn't put the query on the OMNI, and
Mhm.
I see that on the search result, you show it like those relative, those icon that was in red, those arrows. So all they, because I try to, all they always appear, or is it on particular, is it only on articles, or is it
On
books?
Yeah, no, on articles.
On
This
article. Okay,
applies
okay.
this applies to journal articles. It doesn't apply to books, because they would have too many references, I assume, in books.
Okay, okay. It makes
Yeah,
sense. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Uh,
So the trick with the red arrow at the top, were you guys able to see where when I was pointing the red arrows on my screen? Or anyways, if you run an Omni search, and you get when you look at the results and their journal articles, look at these arrows bifurcating at the top of the reference of the library notice, and click on them. You will get a list of articles which were used to build the journal article, respectively, uh, articles that cited your article after it was published. Any so thank you Ginsley for raising that point with the
Arrow.
arrows. And yeah, it's a good trick, but it only applies to journal articles. um any other quick tips of the trade that anyone else would like to share? Any challenging moments? Like, did you have like any difficulties? Where what did it ever happen that you were stuck searching in OMNI? It happened to me. I mean, that's why, like, this in spite of its name, I mean, OMNI in Latin means everything, right? But I encourage you not to limit yourself, not to stop at OMNI. Move move as when it is appropriate, as the situation requires it. Adapt and move to other resources that are at your disposal.
So on my side, on the facets or filter, search filter,
Yeah.
thanks for showing me how to remove search filter. I never used that function.
Hmm.
So that was great to know that this is available. Um, oh, what else? Challenges. Think what are the challenges that I've uh mm, yeah, but most challenges, let's say operator, I could say, is for books. Sometimes they try to sign in or to log in with the easy proxy, which is
Hmm.
not working. The easy proxy is only available for online resources. Why they are doing that? It's mostly when they are trying to help a patron, let's say, for interlibrary loan or to request the book from archive to go to uh, to a specific library, and that function doesn't work. So that's first, and mm, on Omni, what else? Mm, I think that's
Well,
all I remember. Yeah.
while you are gathering your thoughts, Ginsley, it is always a good idea to try to communicate. Sometimes people they are not aware that they can take a screenshot and send back in the chat an image, a picture of their screen. I encourage you, especially when uh, you're having the user is telling you, oh, it doesn't work. I get an error message, and they don't tell you why it doesn't work. They don't specify what kind of error message. Thank you for joining, Cheng. Um, so it is always a good idea to ask them, please send me a screenshot, and you will actually take it from there, because sometimes not having access to a resource, or sometimes it's something related to user error, or we're actually they're actually not clicking in the spot that you are telling them to click. They're doing compl- a completely different thing. So that's why they don't have access, or there's something wrong their account, and there's nothing that you can do at that point in terms of access, of course. So another trick of the trade, like the next year's iteration, I'm gonna add the use as much as you can screen shots, or I show my when I'm doing the filtering with my patrons. I actually limit it to the areas of the screen on the side. So in this case, the left hand side of the screen. I don't take a full shot. So in your Windows tools, you have this nifty tool which is called snipping tool. It is actually a software that allows you to take a screenshot of either a part or the screenshot of your full screen. Don't send them the full screen and then try to add arrows and whatnot. Uh, take a screenshot of the area where the filtering occurs, and then tell them, I'm going to send you a screenshot. Take your time to carefully identify on your own screen where you would do the filtering. It's tricky because like we can't communicate like with sometimes we run 3, 4, even 5 chats simultaneously, right? So we cannot have like tiny screens and voices in our headsets and whatnot. So I guess because we were doing like this kind of text chat, instant messaging, we have these other limitations when the communication is jolted, or it doesn't go through. But um, we're just I don't want to say we hope for the best, because that would sort of imply, oh, okay, well, I'm just throwing a Hail Mary. We are marching towards like a goal, helping students. And um, I had very few people like in patrons uh, losing patience, or being uncooperative, because they understand the limitations of the chat, and they're happy to see the screenshots. So I find that there's like a lot of goodwill. I'm gonna read the chat here. Yeah, so I guess we can wrap it up here, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. And uh, thank you very much, Jessa. Um, I should have put my email address in the chat. I'm doing it right now.
Great.
I'm really happy to further exchange with you, and thank you very much, Samantha. And Ginsley, I am going to run those medical term searches, and I'm going to play with them. So to be continued.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chesa, and thank you, Samantha, for uh, attending. And thank you, Paul, for this presentation. So perfect. Thank you. I learned a lot. So that's in great.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
thank
you.
you for your time and for your contributions. Have
Okay.
a great day,
Thanks.
everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.